Seattle Seahawks. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Go.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. Go. Here we go. Check Bristol. Check.
Now a play fake. Wentz. Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 44-yard line. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Now Wentz on the bootleg. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Here we go, Pac-Man.
Wentz now on 1st down. This short throw caught by Goddard. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wentz. It's caught by Aguilar. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 13-yard line.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
82.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wentz to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. It's been a pretty long opening drive. This will be play number 11 coming up on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wentz. And he's got it. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, he did everything but get him in the end zone there, but now they're set up golden opportunity. Strong opening drive, and they're knocking on the door.
And the way that they did it, now look where they are on the field, all right? This is naturally set up for a running play, isn't it? But with his ability to throw the football, his accuracy on this drive, you might want to think about a pass play in this situation.
And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. That touchdown certainly a welcome sight. Remember, they were shut out last week. They talked to us about getting early momentum. Well, here you go in the opening quarter.
Got to rebuild confidence, because when you get shut out, I don't care how strong you are mentally, you've got to take a step back and say, okay, what just happened here? Because nothing that we were doing worked well enough to get into the end zone, and that's a nice confidence-building drive, one that puts it in the end zone to give them an opportunity.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 22.
Switch gears.
On the ground, this is Rashad Penny. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
We ain't giving up nothing today. Go. Check, go. Check, 53, Mike. Hey, let's get in them holes. Check 13.
Now Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. And got his man complete. 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, 77 yards. As his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. as they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. It's a second down run with Sanders. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Your trip is here, baby. Your trip is here.
Shifting Griffin there on the tackle. A 2-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Start of the second quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession. These two teams all tied after one.
Go. 120. Listen.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. As we know, they had the chance last week, Charles, to lock up the division. Couldn't do it. Now it all comes down to the final week of the season. But once again, he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Rashad Penny with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula to get them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
At the 30-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Michael Brockers in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah, what's going on? It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now. A big hitter that time in the punt game. 66 yards on the boot. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they fell behind early, but since then, 2 touchdowns and a 14-7 lead.
Yeah, they found the end zone on their first 2 drives, and even more so after the defense gave up the first lead. With these last 2 drives, obviously they inspired their D because they shut them down the last time out. They hope to continue that string.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
53 to Mike. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Mike, 53. 53. Mike. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Now it's Wilson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
61, matchbox, light.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Wentz on the give to Sanders. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Working from the gun, Wentz. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th. Now Gostkowski will come on to try a field goal. This one from 46 yards out. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense, because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
2nd and 4 at the 31-yard line.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. From the 31, Wilson, he'll find Metcalf. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a 1st down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Yo, 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 yo. Yo.
Now Wilson on first down. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wentz caught by the tight end Ertz. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. They go play action here on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Wentz. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
53's Mike. Check. 53's Mike. I got one. I got one.
Here's Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway.
Good one, boy. Let's go. Let's go.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Again, it's Penny. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 4 yards to pick up, first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing is Wilson. Flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Penny. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
53 is the mark. Oh, try. Mike, 53. 53, Mike. Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. 14 yards that time for number 14.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he would end up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
53, Mike, 53.
24.
53 is the mark. 53.
To throw is Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Will Dissly, his 4th touchdown on the year. Here the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Extra point up and through by Myers, and that makes it a 21-10 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. But no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And try and get back to where you were to start the half.
A good pickup there. 26 yards.
20.
Now Wentz. Jones has it. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Throwing now is Wentz. It's caught. Jones. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Third catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a first down. Wentz now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Wentz now to throw. Looking end zone for Jones. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Now Wentz. He'll take a shot for the end zone. Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And he'll take it all the way up near the 30-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn it into a play action, and throw one deep.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here. Over 20 yards. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That could be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Now, meanwhile, a final play here is incomplete, and that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter of play. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Give me that 12. Give me that ball. Give me that ball. Kill. Rush in.
On 2nd down, it's Hill. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Check out route.
Zebra.
Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Nice 57.
12.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. He's got Lockett. The 20. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. Yeah, the Seahawks, they're able to stretch that lead out a bit further. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
That's it, baby. We gonna work.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, it does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Hey, on second.
On 2nd and 2, Wentz nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. The Eagles on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. To throw is Wentz. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field, and almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
So now on comes the field goal unit. And this will be a, shall we say, a rather optimistic try here. And why the field goal team is still out there is beyond me. Time to reconsider after the delay. And that'll set them back 5. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Watch the
The Eagles indeed snap it. Wentz. And it is incomplete. Marquise Blair, 2nd-round pick from Utah, there to bat it away. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Slam, slam, slam.
Check.
Get wild.
Wilson leaves this one with Penny. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Rashad Penny, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Myers connects on the PAT. And they open the lead up now to 25. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
3 buzz.
To throw, it's Wentz. And that's complete to Sanders. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Eagles on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. Here it's 3rd and 3. Throwing is Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Here's Matt Wild now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. Now a hit and a loose football.
I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game because you can. It's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they?
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
53, Mike. On the ball.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
2nd and 6 at the 43-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. The handoff to Penny. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
It's a loss of 2. Brings up 3rd down and 8.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And they'll run it again with Penny. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Once again here on 2nd and 10. He's going to let it fly. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty, no question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Gostkowski with the extra point. And checking that NFL scoreboard there in the 4th quarter down in Arizona. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Another victory perhaps in the cards. They're looking as good as anybody as the playoffs draw near. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
At the 23-yard line.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
53, Mike, 53. It's our field. It's our field. Hey, it's our house.
So the victory here for Seattle, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more